Greetings, Lucky Legends. My name is Lucky. This is Lucky Lad TV. I'm your host for this video, and it's time for what is quite possibly the most important match of the entire GBA history: Nips versus Shady. As you can see, I am repping my Big Boy Man Reggie Rock shirt. As in this segment, I will be covering what I believe Nips will bring to the battle, and what I believe all of his thought processes are behind each of the things that he brings. I'm going to open up my phone to Shady's team just so that I have that for the reference. As you see on the screen here, this is the team that I believe Nips will bring. The only type that he has an actual issue with is Fairy. I don't think Shady has any sort of dangerous Fairy coverage, if any for that matter. Again, like I said, I do have to go look. BattleGBA.com. There will be a lot of links in the description, including but not limited to BattleGBA.com, which is the GBA website, the GBA YouTube channel, GBA Twitter, Shady's channel, Shady's Twitter, Nips' channel, Nips' Twitter, and I think that should be it. Oh, and you will also find a link to an article that I wrote on this battle. Definitely go check that out. It is hilarious. Teams: New York Yankees. And as we see here, Azelf is really Shady's only Fairy coverage. And I'm not sure if he's going to bring the Azelf, because Azelf gets walled really badly by this team that I'm looking at. Between the Magnezone, the Jirachi, and the Mandibuzz, it would be useful, but I think he would be much better off bringing something else. So basically, here's my thought process behind all this. The Mega Altair is a given. But we know for a fact Shady's bringing the Regirock. That's also a given. So Nips needs some fighting coverage or some steel coverage. He needs something to be able to take down that Regirock. And a special Blaziken is a really good answer for that. It learns Vacuum Wave, which is priority. It'll do a lot to a Regirock. I'm not sure exactly how much. Hawlucha does a lot with a Swords Dance Drain Punch, and given how fast Hawlucha is, it can very easily set up that Swords Dance, live an attack with a Focus Sash, and with the Swords Dance set up and the Unburden boost, it will do a lot of damage. Magnezone takes out Mega Scizor. Magnezone has the Magnet Pull ability, as you see on the screen. And with that, it can trap Mega Scizor and then hit it with HP Fire, and I'm pretty sure it'll one-shot it. There are a couple other things on Shady's team that need to be looked at, but Mandibuzz is going to be a big problem for Shady unless he brings the Rotom Heat. The Rotom Heat will do a lot with some Volt Switch initiative. Shady's going to need to keep momentum in this game because Nips has a lot of really strong Mons. Magnezone, Jirachi, Mandibuzz, and Mega Altair are all really bulky. They're not stall types, but they're fat enough to easily take hits and dish back out a lot of damage. Especially Jirachi with his incredibly varied moveset. He's 100 across the board. Shady doesn't have a lot that can really touch him, with the exception of possibly the Conkeldurr or the Garchomp. The Rotom Heat can hit it with an Overheat, but you can't keep Jirachi in on that. Melodic and Superior are also, they've been in every match that Shady has done so far. They work really well together. Romeo and Juliet, Sakura and Sasuke, you name it. I'm not sure if they're going to come through. All I know is that Shady has to bring something to deal with fighting types, because Nips has 3 fighting types on his team. He has Blaziken, he has Cobalion, and he has Hawlucha. Shady has only 1 flying type on his team, and that's Honchkrow, and it doesn't resist fighting. So it'll be really interesting to see what goes through. This is my prediction. I didn't go through the trouble of doing moves because they come up with much better things than I would. But this is what I think we're going to see from Nips. And now you're going to see what I think Shady's going to bring. Smooth transition. Excellently smooth transition. As you can see now, I am wearing my New York Yankees Freeze t-shirt, or sleeveless shirt. Yeah, I have a tattoo. Get over it. This is what I think Shady's going to bring. We know for a fact he's going to bring the Mega Scizor. We know for a fact he's going to bring the Regirock. Mega Scizor, it's his Mega, you bring it. Regirock, it's Nips' mascot, he's going to bring it. But then we have 4 slots left for Shady. I think we're going to see the Rotom Heat. He really needs that Switch initiative, especially Mons like Mega Altaria and the Blaziken. Just Pokemon in general that are fat, they can eat up hits, and you need to be able to switch out into something that matches up against it a lot better. I'm actually predicting specifically a Choice Scarfed Rotom, just because an Overheat will actually do a lot to Nips' team, but I think he's going to focus more on the Switch initiative. Conkeldurr. The reason I think he's going to bring the Conkeldurr is I think he's going to bring a fatter Conkeldurr. I think he's going to bring it for priority because Mach Punch does a lot to, like Magnezone, it does a lot to Jirachi, it does a lot to a lot of Pokemon. It's a really strong move. And I think he's going to have it for coverage as well. I don't think he's going to... I'm sure he'll have knockoff on it, but it's not going to do much to Nips' team with all of those fighting types. Superior is going to be also very helpful. If he runs the Dragon Pulse, that's going to do a lot to Nips. If you get to like +2, +4 with Leaf Storm, Dragon Pulse will do a lot. I don't think it's going to one-shot everything, but it'll do a lot. He could also run the HP Ice, which would hit the Hawlucha, it would hit the... What's that thing called? Mandibuzz. It would hit the Mega Altaria. It's a really strong move, and it would probably work well with the rest of the team. That said, Melodic has the Ice Beam, which is better than HP Ice for obvious reasons. Melodic's also going to do really well. The only issue is Nips' Magnezone. It matches up a little too well against Melodic. Melodic can't really touch it unless it runs HP Ground, which I don't think it would. Although he could do that. This video is going up on Friday. I'm sure they would have already had their match by then. I'm going to double check with Nips just to make sure. I need to add Shady on Skype so that I can interview him as well, but I have Nips. You know why I have Nips. That went up on Monday. But as you see from all this, the only way that Shady would have been able to avoid that fighting weakness is by bringing the Azelf. And you're probably wondering why I don't think he's going to bring the Azelf. I'm so torn on this. The issue is Azelf really messes with the synergy of Shady's team. It gives him another Ghost weakness, it gives him another Dark weakness, and it gives him another Bug weakness. The Bug weakness he doesn't have much of an issue with, but he would have to get rid of, I'd say, the Conkeldurr to get the Azelf in here, and that would mean that he'll have one less flying weakness, but he'll have one less dark resistance, and he'll lose a rock resistance. He'll lose a lot that he really needs. And the Azelf, the only good thing that it would really give him is the fighting resistance. He doesn't need it for anything else, as you see here. Whereas he would have a lot more issues if he brought the Azelf than if he brings the Conkeldurr. He may bring it anyway because he needs that fairy coverage for all the Mons on Shady's team. I mean, on Nips' team. The fairy and the psychic coverage work really well as the fighting resistance. However, I think Conkeldurr can do a pretty good job of that. You can also run Superior or Milotic with Hidden Power Psychic. I know that that's not really a thing, but I also believe we may see an Aerial Ace Mega Scizor. Aerial Ace, it gets the Technician boost for Mega Scizor, and that'll do a lot. And if he sets up a Swords Dance, it'll probably like Oko half of Nip's team. So it'll be really interesting to see what comes out of this week. Make sure to go check out the article. It's a lot of fun. Shady loved it, Nips loved it, and I have confirmation from both of those. But with that, I'm going to get about. Best luck to you out there. I will see you all soon. Goodbye.